Hello and welcome to the Dr. Guitar YouTube channel. In this video I'll be covering 13 tips on how to improve your hammer-ons and pull-offs. Tip number 1. Snap your pull-offs onto the adjacent string. When you're doing a pull-off, a lot of times we'll just kind of go up into the air, which gives more of like a flubby sound. And what you want to do is to snap it and actually rest your finger onto the adjacent string below like this. Tip number 2 is to have a parallel left hand. A lot of times our hand will be perpendicular to this fretboard here, and that gives you less power and less leverage on the hammer-ons and pull-offs. So you want to do that with a parallel hand, and that's going to give you more strength when doing the pull-off. Tip number 3 is to practice all finger combinations. Instead of just practicing your second and first finger, also practice your third and second, your fourth and third, your fourth and second, your third and first, your fourth and first, all the combinations. This will really help develop the independence on each finger. If you like this video, please subscribe and comment below. I'd greatly appreciate your help. And I also take requests, so if there's something you need help with or a song you want me to do, let me know. Tip number 4 is to make sure you're practicing on the low registers, so on the lower notes, and on the higher notes. This is good to practice because as the notes go higher on the guitar, the frets actually get closer together. So it's a little bit different to practice hammer-ons and pull-offs here than it is to do them there. So it's good to get the full range and practice both. Which leads us to tip number 5, which means to also practice on all 6 strings. Don't just practice on the first string, but make sure you're doing every string. Tip number 6 is to practice jumping strings. So do some here and then jump to the 6th string. Tip number 7 is pretty obvious, but hit the hammer-ons harder. When we do hammer-ons, a lot of students, beginner players, will kind of be a little weak on it and wonder why they're not getting a good sound, but you just hit it harder. Put some force behind it. The 8th tip is to aim behind the fretboard of the guitar. Instead of aiming actually on the fret, you're going to aim back here. And this emulates something from karate. Or if you ever seen Kill Bill when she's stuck in the coffin and has to punch her way out. You actually are trying to get a lot of strength from a short distance. And instead of aiming at the hand, you would aim behind it, whatever your target is, and actually focus your strength as if you're punching literally through the wood. So you're going to do that with your hammer-on here. Instead of just aiming for there, you're going to aim behind, and that's going to give you a lot more force. The 9th tip is to have your thumb on the back of the guitar instead of having it here, because you can kind of see it's going to cut your knuckles off from being over the guitar. So if I have my thumb on the back, my knuckles are now over the guitar, which allows you to have more leverage, where if your thumb's on the back, it kind of cuts off room for your fingers to do a pull-off, and that gets in the way. So I really recommend having your thumb on the back of the guitar. The 10th tip is to practice hammer-on and pull-off combinations. So instead of just doing a hammer-on or just doing pull-off, do a combination where you're going to do like 1, 2, 1 or 2, 1, 2. The 11th tip I have is to use repetition, and I don't mean maybe doing it 10 times or 15 times. I recommend doing it 100 times. Pick one combination and do it 100 times on each string, and do that every day. Tip number 12 is to take 1 or 2 measures from your favorite song that has hammer-ons and pull-offs and just isolate that and practice it over and over. And a good one I recommend is to do the first 2 shapes in Thunderstruck and do them all as hammer-ons and pull-offs. If you've made it this far, the 13th tip is an extra challenge, and it's really hard to do, but it's a great workout for your hand and it improves your hammer-ons and pull-offs, is to do them with a bar. So bar the entire, let's say, first fret, and then practice doing pull-offs. we're doing hammer-ons. And do all the finger combinations. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.